welcome to DXB Today. We're so excited to have you with us for today's episode. And you know what? Prepare to be inspired. Because you know what? Dubai is the land of opportunity. So is the United Arab Emirates. And so many entrepreneurs come here to realize their dreams. Well, today we are going to take it one step further because apparently building one dream business just isn't enough. We've got to build multiple successful businesses. We're going to be giving you some great advice. Now let's find out what else is coming up on today's episode.
Katie caught up with celebrity actor and singer Yulia Ventura for an exclusive interview diving into dream collaborations and ventures.
And Lane went down to the amazing restaurant Okku and checked it out. Plus, Yulia Ventura will also be performing in our studios in a little bit. So guys, multi-entrepreneurs, did you ever think of maybe opening a business or multiple businesses as well?
Gosh, I think opening a business is such a big decision. Not only does it need to align with your passion, your skill, the market demand, profit feasibility, financial feasibility.
Yeah.
I think it's something that you need to eat, sleep, dream, and just absolutely be obsessed with. Because, I mean, let's face it, from any successful person we've spoken to, the first few years are going to be hard, going to be really hard. You could lose hope. You could lose friends, you could lose a lot of your life, you know, in the making of something big and successful.
You know, I've seen my brother do it. He has a number of restaurants, ice cream cafes, and I don't know if we share the same personalities. I'm feisty, I'm determined, I'm consistent, but I like to sleep at night and I like knowing that I have money in my bank account.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to find out today from our guest co-host and from our guest today, what the difference is, how you get the courage to go not just from one business, but to multiple businesses. But yeah, if I was going to do something, I think a production business? Production
I think it's the closest to what we do right now.
I think a lot of people would just get
What
into
about you,
production.
Ahmed?
For me, I thought like, especially being here in Dubai, you'd be like, oh, I like to eat, so maybe I can open a restaurant or like something of that similar thing. But then I was like, you know what? I would rather just stay here and not do something like that because it takes a lot to plan and like, especially with like hiring people, opening a business and going with everything like that. But then you know
like,
what?
I'd rather eat at the restaurant
Exactly.
than have to worry about
Not
making
go through
them.
the stress of having a restaurant.
Okay, so I think we can all agree none of us are going to be entrepreneurs anytime soon, but we are going to speak to someone who is notorious for this. So let's find out who our guest co-host today is.
This is Saif Al-Hakim, the founder of the Alpha Movement, and I'm super excited to join you today.
Saif will join us in a little bit, but first, diving into homegrown brands in the city, Lane checked out the once popular Okku, making its comeback in the Marriott Palm Jumeirah. Let's take a look.
My fellow foodies, lend me your ear. Tonight we are delving into a culinary haven, one that has been a tradition of Dubai for many, many years. It's come back, it's returned. Japanese flair, modern techniques and flavors. This is Okku at the Marriott Resort Palm. So Ramsey, first off, I'd just like to say congratulations, a big massive mabruk on a fantastic, wonderful place, an institution that needed to be reignited. But you've come into this market. Why did you choose to bring Okku back into the light?
I think Okku for us is, first of all, thank you for coming. Pleasure to be doing this with you. Look, Okku for us is a Dubai institution. The vision from the beginning was create F&B brands that are from Dubai, created in Dubai, and we take them out around the world. So I always joke with, you know, friends in DTCM and the government that, you know, I should be on the payroll for the amount of, you know, tourism, let's say, that, you know, we tell everyone about. Now, Dubai is home. It's an amazing city. It's an incredible story, and we want to be part of that story. And so the idea was to create brands here, as I said, and take it out.
But the kitchen staff, they are integral, and you've retained a lot of them from the old space.
We have, in fact, in the entire team, almost 35%, roughly, you know, over a third of this team are ex-Okku. Now that's quite amazing considering the time that we were closed. So the GM is ex-Okku. She used to be a senior waitress with us, went on to a number of other places in Dubai. They all developed their careers and carried on. And then when we went calling and said, right, we're coming to reopen, it was extremely humbling to get that tingling feeling when many of them said, we'd love to come back. The reality is, with the reception team, with the floor staff, with the kitchen, you can tell the food's made with love. When it comes out, the presentation, they care. And whether you're having dinner tonight, or next week, or in 3 months, or 2 months ago, it's all the same. And Ramsey, thank you for being you. And let's keep flying the flag, keep representing, and let people know that Okku's back in town. Okku's back. Thank you. Pleasure to you. Thank you. Pleasure. Yeah. It's got a spice. Woo! Okay, so this is a scallop. Smell is wonderful. Cooked to perfection. Now the question is, always is, do you take one bite or do you just put the whole thing in your mouth?
Now, our next guest is an internationally acclaimed entrepreneur and mentor, empowering individuals to achieve their full potential whilst boasting a portfolio of companies across diverse sectors, from technology to tourism. Please welcome the founder of the Alpha Movement, Saif Al-Hakim, to the show. Saif!
Very happy to
Finally,
be with
we
you.
meet.
Absolutely.
You're a very popular man.
Cool. Thank you. It's an honor to be here today with you.
Well, I want to know all about Alpha Movement because, first of all, I heard the name and I was like, this sounds like it's male-oriented. And I'm sure you get that a lot. So,
of course.
I want to know what it's about. And hey, how'd you become so popular? Some advice over here.
Okay, so alpha is not only about male, it's male and female. Being an alpha is a leader at the end of the day. So I created the movement simply because I want each and every one to fulfill their potential. So part of the Alpha movement was designed and created for male and female to fulfill their potential. And I will say something more, because the name Alpha from the old times is always related to, I don't want to say bad things, but like abusive behaviors, controlling behavior, and. But the modern time Alpha is absolutely different. It's evolved by time. It's a person that takes responsibility, is a leader, fiercely determined, impactful, influential. These are all alphas, male and female.
Saif, I'm really interested to know a little bit more about the Alpha movement, in the sense that how do you really get your message across and spread the education that you have gathered with your many years of experience?
There are many channels. One of them is like kind of a club, the Alpha Club. The second is through my books. I'm an author. My podcast, being a mentor in universities in Dubai. So across all these channels, and social media, of course, it's one of the biggest channels that I use.
I wanted to ask about your other companies as well,
Yeah.
because you've got multiple projects and not just the Alpha Movement. So can you please tell us more about that?
I run a portfolio of 6-7 companies in different industries.
Yeah.
Hotels, restaurants, fitness, electronics, holiday homes, fitness clubs. These are all my portfolio of businesses.
Now, I want to know how you manage such a diverse portfolio. What have you done right that everyone else is doing wrong, or has that? And this is not time to be modest. Tell us all the details.
Right away.
Share your secrets.
My role model in I would say business is Richard Branson. This guy runs 400 plus companies like this. Been always my role model, and I wanted to, I would say, model that type of thing. So I've read everything about him, studied him inside out. And at the end, I'm an engineer by education. So everything for me comes to a formula. So whatever I have a formula, and I know it's successful, I capitalize on it in different industries. To be successful is not about your motivation to do something. It is designed to be successful. So whatever business you want to run, there is a pattern, a process, a system, an ecosystem to make it successful. Not a lot of things that I see these days, that people are just motivated to make things happen.
Yeah.
But it's not this way. You never seen a pilot sitting inside of the plane clapping it to fly. No, the plane is designed to fly. Exactly as business. It has an equation, it has a formula, it has a process. to make it successful. And that's what I replicate to my businesses.
Yeah. I believe when it comes to achieving success, there's no such thing as one size fits all.
Yeah.
So when you do speak to people, when you are doing your mentorship programs, is there a different approach you use with different clients depending on the sort of background and the kind of businesses that they're involved in?
100%. I always say define success for yourself first, and then we support each other to achieve it. Success for me is totally different than success for each and everyone sitting today. Sometimes success for a father to be the best father for his child, that's success for him and that's it. For different people, you need to identify what's success for you first, and then we work towards this together.
And how do you go on picking a project, for example? Because how did you go on picking all these different sectors that you have worked in?
Okay, it starts with a passion towards a particular industry. I've been the CMO of a tech giant for 10 plus years. So I'm within electronics for half of my life, I would say. So it starts with passion, but I always say that passion doesn't get you till the end. It doesn't make you successful. You need to go through what's called obsession. When people around you start to say that you're crazy, then you know that you're on the right track. So whatever I do is something that I'm really passionate about. I can spend hours and hours and hours and I don't feel it. And that's an obsession.
Now, aside from passion and craziness,
Yeah.
let's talk about failure over here.
Oh
One
my
last
God,
question
oh
for
my
you.
God.
Because when is that moment where you're like, hey, maybe this business is just not going to work out, or do you just keep going and going and going at it until it becomes a success?
Okay. Number one, it's failure is part of the process, right? And I always say that there's something called success pendulum, right? A success pendulum is what? It's like when you have a pendulum, on the one side is pain, failure, the other side is joy, success. So the more you push towards failure and fail in some pain, the more it will hit back success. So always what? Fail fast and fail big. So to propel to the success side. Failure is again part of the essence of you going to get something. It's always, I've never seen somebody trying to do something repetitive and fails. Yes, God gave us brains to analyze data that's happening. There are signals from the market. If the business idea is not applicable, it doesn't have a market response, you need to pivot. It doesn't mean you need to quit.
Right.
You can pivot, but it's not like you're hitting your head into the wall.
So pivot, don't quit is our takeaway. So please stick around with us. There's so much more that we want to talk to you and the rest of our guests coming up. We are looking forward to having some great discussion over here. Time for a quick break. After that, we're learning how to create opportunities in the ever-evolving market of entrepreneurship with the founder of Grow Valley. Plus, we're meeting with celebrity artist Yulia to discover what she's been up to in Dubai. So stay with us.